What I'd like to know, Jesus Breed, is where do you get this information from? It sounds fascinating. And I let possibilities run. Anything is possible. XRP going to zero? That would be well deserved. But not to hurt those who have invested in XRP. Everyone needs to be ready for anything. XRP is the only one that has liquidity. One of my friends in Spain has thousands of Bitcoin. He could dump the whole market on all of you right now. Good one. Yeah, I have a friend in Federal Reserve who could print more so we can buy it all back from all of you right now. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm not laughing, but I am. So anyways, you're right and he's right and everyone is right. Guys, I wanted to bring your attention to wow, where's the chat, man? Where's the chat? Hey, if this stream is not working and the chat is not gonna show up on our thing, I give up. I'm just gonna turn everything off. I can't deal with this right now. This is my portable setup, and I'm away from my main desk. This is what we get. We're filming through this one single window like this. And right now, it's looking like
hey, stand by.
We don't have chat coming through, which is really bad. I don't like this.
Hey, stand by.
Oh yeah. So let's do it like this real quick. To the live group. There we go. We're back in action, ladies and gentlemen. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. If you're watching, I appreciate you. If you're not, do you? So anyway, AI Trading Arena. This is a little website that I shared with you guys from a few days ago on our Discord. I don't know if you had the chance to check it out, but to me, there's something here that I wanted to talk about. And this is like 4 of the biggest bots that are trading against one another. Now the developer claims that they have all been given $10,000 each, and this is this is no.
Hey, stand by.
Chat just disappeared. Darn it. It's okay. I won't be able to read, but fuck it. Yeah, so this is something that they claim, although we have no way to verify that these guys are actually trading on a real exchange, right? So you have $10,000 each for 4 or 5 of the top bots or chat GPTs out there. And they're all trading on some unknown exchange or whatever. And we can see the performance metric right here. So what's interesting about this to me is that, you know, having this little thing on the side of the screen kind of gives you an idea of what a typical trader's performance would also be like based on this. Now this is a sophisticated model that kind of follows all there is to follow, like all the confluences, social influence and stuff like that to execute trades. So it's using a lot of information. Now, if there's anything that we have learned from our streams and videos and time being together, is that less is more in most cases. And so if you're watching this performance graph, you can immediately you know, draw some conclusions here and infer a few things from this performance chart. One of them is that the one who talks the most, the loudest, such as Grok, which is known to scrape Twitter for information, has been losing money down by over 10%. And it's been basically wrong the whole time. During this uptick on Bitcoin, price went up. We're gonna get into the charts, but you know, nobody asked me, so I assume that nobody cares. But this is crypto banter. We're just gonna talk about stuff. But anyways, Grok has lost a lot of its capital right here, and this has only been going on for a couple of days. And we saw a very clean setup on Bitcoin that pumped up the price. And if you have something like MarketSpy, it would have been very easy to spot and just kind of chug along as price made its recovery from the lows. So Grok yaps so much. There's a chat window here that we're going to take a look at, and it's fascinating because first of all, I think this is like the old days of analysis where speculators would like explain what is happening, what it is that they're looking at, and stuff like that. And maybe this is a good template for like most people out there who just want to see the results, and they're all in for something like this when you know you have to explain it, but like what are you going to do with this information? So you could technically sit back over here. Now these guys are selling their bots, and this is what you would trust your money to. So they claim to have automated system, but they're not showing it on display. They're showing how the bots are using their automated systems to trade capital, and this is their reasoning. So Grok from Elon Musk from X, Twitter, talks a lot of smack, always has something to say, always jumps out of line, always tells you that there's a trade setup that's incoming, there's this and that reversal, oopsie doozy, this and that. So it's like all over the place. And as a result of this frequency, it is down by 10%, which is huge and unacceptable. And so because of that, right away at the top, we have Claude Sonnet 4.5 right here, which started with 10K but it's only down by like 0.6% so far, which is acceptable, which is like expected and manageable. But out of all of them, even though none of them made any money, this guy was able to save the most. What's up, Nacho? Good to see you, man. Welcome to the stream. We're just gonna hang out a little bit here, talk about bot trading. But in this AI chat box, you can see how we will go over the reasoning over here, but Claude Sonnet 4.5 is the clear winner here, and not because it's looking for trades or it has some secret sauce, is because it's not trading. So we can conclude that you can actually make money by not losing money, aka stop trading if you don't know what it is that you're doing, or if you don't have a system, basically. And Claude Sonnet has shown us some good explanations here. So for example, like the other two are like middle ground, but they've also lost a significant amount of money from their starting capital. And there's a sequence here as a data analyst at a glance, you know, nothing too deep, but you can just say the one that's loudest, the one that's frequent, and perhaps one of the more popular ones is the losing one, followed closely by the biggest, world's most popular ChatGPT 4.5 or whatever it is, version 5. It's supposed to be super sophisticated, and it's supposed to give you like all these insights into the market and all that, but it's doing poorly against its own advice, and it's a little bit better than Grok, but it's still behind. The other two, the unknowns, we have Qwen 3, and then we have Gemini, which is standard on everybody's phones. It's kind of doing all right. At least they're trying. At least they're trying. We'll look at their reasoning here, but ChatGPT is so we're going from like the most like notorious aggressive shit talker, which is Grok, losing the most, followed by the world's most popular ChatGPT losing like right after Grok the same amount of, and it's gonna catch up, I think, to Grok based on its descriptions, its chat history that I read here. And then you have Gemini, which is very quick to flip with the narrative, and Qwen 3 is just copying all the others, so it's kind of averages out over here. And then you have Claude Sonnet, my favorite, which is doing absolutely nothing, because if we go over here, like this is the 9 a.m. daily open sort of analysis. So it goes to say that Bitcoin continues consolidating after completing powerful 5,000, almost a 5% rally from 106 overnight to 111, validating our extreme daily oversold reversal thesis. Now, if you were to compare this sort of explanation against something like what you were seeing on MarketSpy X, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, you have the exact same result. Daily time frame shows meaningful recovery. Sure, now we're looking for a potential buy signal, but then it goes to say that RSI improved from 36 to 40, which is consistent with the percentage rise over here, 4%. And price gap to EMA 50 at 114 narrowed from 6% to about 3%, so by half. Daily BBW, Bollinger Bands at extreme 20% compression data set. So what this means on MarketSpy, for example, if you're to look at, and we're gonna look at it like the actual chart for what led to the move, you would see a super mega compression on the daily time frame, which would immediately tell you that you had to pay attention to a volatility spike that would be consistent with how the system works. And so Claude here is using narratives and analysis based on the charts that you as a MarketSpy already had access to before it even printed all of this. So that was developing in real time. But a lot of you guys, you're just like, I don't know. I guess you don't know what it is that you're wielding in your hands when it comes to MarketSpy. Take a look at this. The 4-hour histogram at plus 630 confirms explosive positive momentum divergence validation. And if you were to look at a 6-hour or 4-hour time frame on MarketSpy action game, you would see the exact same thing right here. However, it says no trade, and this is why I love this model so much. It talks about strict capital preservation is paramount. After 10 consecutive losing trades totaling $26, imagine this guy is very conservative and it's only lost $26, which is minus 27%. It is not even joined the 1% club yet, but it's already like nervous about losing that much. It says that maintaining disciplined risk management is critical. Current price 110 represents chasing a parabolic rally that already delivered its primary impulse. And this is something that I always talk about on this channel, is when people are rubbing these charts in my face, in my circles, and they tell me that, oh look, how come you didn't see that coming? It's not that I didn't see it coming. If I show you the charts now, I will show you that unless you were really focused on intraday and lower time frames, the daily, the 4-hour, the 6-hour has no buy signal, and there was never a buy signal. This reversal came very slowly over the weekend. It crept up on people, and it happens all the time. But do you have a continuation trend set up to participate in? No, it is still bearish and continues to be bearish despite this reversal. This is simply an indicator trade that algorithms picked up, institutions picked up, and reversed price based on what was shown on MarketSpy. And this is why you shouldn't take the name SPY lightly. It literally spies on everybody, and what everybody is doing, it is going to follow through and follow that same mindset. So you have it continues to explain that current price 110 represents chasing a parabolic rally that has already delivered its primary impulse. So if you're getting into this now, this is why I'm not trading, because you enjoy your time with your family or yourself over the weekend, don't you? Well, unless you're married to the market and money is your primary source of happiness, I feel very sad for you, but congratulations, because you were able to capture whatever was happening over the weekend. Price has pulled back to minus 1% since the peak from 111 peak, and is now testing support zone 110, 130. So here it tells you that support is 110, 130. Sorry, 110, 110, between 300 to 600. 15-minute volume declining to 499, well below institutional threshold of 2,000. Now, in the last 15-minute alert on MarketSpy Armageddon, if you were to set alerts for bullish punch-out, the volume on the last MarketSpy punch-out setup was 4,000 Bitcoin, twice the institutional baseline grade, which led to the impulse from 106 all the way to 112. You see where I'm getting with this? So the volume has declined, and this model is actually reading all of that based on a multitude of indications, including volume, momentum, price averages, which is everything that we rely on to find exact probabilities for directionality. So he goes on to say that pending 4-hour candle at only 9,000 volume, showing significantly reduced participation compared to earlier surge of 28,000. Recent price action shows violent whipsaw from 111,650 peak to 109,800 low. Institutional profit taking on 4,744, followed by recovery attempts, but now retreating again to 110,470. Market consolidating between 110 and 111 range after explosive moves suggests digestion phase required. And this is exactly what we do. I love this model, the way it reasons, but it cannot execute on its own analysis. Once again, we can, and this is the power of discretionary trading, because you're not relying on these restrictions, these coded in hard rules, because you're pliable, you're flexible. Your mind is capable of much more than any of these systems can ever dream of being capable of. Step quality. So the setup quality, is A-. Daily oversold reversal confirmed plus room to EMA 50 offering 3.3 upside plus constructive higher low market structure. I 100% agree with this. Execution timing, F. Chasing after 3,000 or 4,000 rally from overnight low. F means fail. If you're doing the chase right now, you're F. Sit down, you failed. Rally from overnight lows plus violent whipsaw action throughout the session. Plus, you have sharply declining volume indicating exhaustion, consolidation, retracement phase developing, plus 10 consecutive execution losses requiring maximum discipline, plus unfavorable entry after parabolic move. So overall grade of this trade for itself, for Sonnet is D+, well below B minimum threshold. Portfolio is 924. Strategy, waiting for, what is it waiting for? Strategy, waiting for healthy consolidation structure development between 109 to 111 with sustained volume, more than 2,015 minutes, plus more than 30,000 per hour, demonstrating renewed institutional commitment, or deeper pullback to support zone 108, 109 with confirmed volume showing genuine buying interest. This is what I'm waiting for. The technical thesis remains valid for continuation towards 114 EMA 50, but forcing entry after parabolic move on declining volume with violent intraday whipsaws violates disciplined risk management. Quality re-entry setup with proper timing will present itself after market digests this explosive rally. Patience over FOMO. This is how we recover from setbacks and build consistent alpha. So I really enjoyed how this system thought. I think this is like gold for beginners and professionals to be reminded of what it is that you should be focusing on, what it is that you should be doing in times like these. And so you can read more and go to this chat thingy over here. You can see the website. I posted a link. But once again, Sonnet model is, the reasoning is top-notch. It's amazing. And as with all things in life, it is the least popular. It doesn't have any subscribers, likes, or viewers. Not that many people use Claude Sonnet compared to all the other ones out there. Quen creatives are all over it. Grok 4, the degens are asking, Grok, is this true? And GPT-5 is basically like that everybody is paying for, thinking it's the best model. And of course, they all are useful for other things, but in terms of trading, Sonnet performs better because it's actually not trading. It's like, nah, that's too aggressive. I'm not gonna chase it. The others, however, if you look at Grok, and I'm not gonna do it now in this live stream, but you can like entertain yourself. If you look at Grok and ChatGPT, they always have something to say. I'm bullish, I'm bearish, I'm bullish, I'm bearish. Price is bearish, retracement bullish, I'm entering. And the levels that they enter and execute those trades have nothing to do with practical levels that you can observe using MarketSpy, for example. So I thought that was very interesting. And it reminds me that because these things are coded by people or used by people, and the popularity ranking here from the losing to the winning is like in line with how the world works. Yeah, this is highly educational content that you can compare these screens and the chat rambles next to your actual charts and see why Sonnet is winning, because it is really, really like the MarketSpy setup that I was looking at not long ago, because yeah, everything that it said is consistent with what we have been seeing in on our charts. And so I'm gonna get into our charts just now and talk about this this pattern that I always talk about, the banana split pattern. Now, if you don't know what that is, the name sounds funny, but it does look like a banana, like tightening volatility. This is the classic Ranger Vortex setup, where you have a little pullback to sweep the lows on exhaustion over the weekend, and then obviously a run up the next day. But patterns aside, this is just silly, and this is something that we have picked up, and we're able to kind of consistently replicate with many time frames and many setups happening again and again with Bitcoin. A consolidation like this usually leads to a breakout, but you wouldn't really know this unless you were actually clearing the highs and there was a setup on your system to confirm that. So this setup in our case was, now this part is no different from everything else prior to it, but you can see how many attempts it was made to go up, and it kind of failed, but the intent was there. So if you were to use the SR, and look how thin the compression was over here, like this is insane compression, and price is floating with the moving average above the yellow line. This is like stupid simple, all right? The yellow line, moving average above it, price above it, we can expect a pull up. Then we close below the yellow line, and that means our high probability level is this red PL level right here. We touch PL and we go up, we smash back above the yellow line, and now our bias, the flip has happened. We're looking to trade price to the upside. It goes back to retest the breakout, and by that time momentum has already picked up, and there's no way to push it back down again. And so price continues to creep up, retesting the previous breakout points. And once again, it opened below over here very aggressively, touched BC, which is a high probability level number 2. Price bounced away from it, went above, and continued rallying. And here we are again. Now we're opening below the yellow line once again. And what's going to happen here is price is going to go to BC, most likely, and then we'll see what it'll do here. Maybe it'll go down, or maybe it'll just stay above this line and go up. So directionality wise, you just have to give it enough time to compress and to fully form before taking a trade. And I was pondering, sitting here and thinking about different people located in different parts of the world. And I thought to myself, if the market performs consistently, especially with a system like MarketSpy, and there's just no way around it, you have to be up for it, whether it's night, day, or noon, or morning. You have to be up for when these charts actually print the CPR levels. Like right now, if you're sleeping or you're at work, it's really hard to make it, because right now is when your analysis kind of starts to develop. This is your homework phase, and sometime later down the line today, you're gonna have a trading opportunity to basically take advantage of these things. Below yellow towards high probability levels, above yellow towards high probability levels. That's just how it works. All you need is momentum support. Here, price is going to fall back down to BC. That is easily seen as a sure shot consolidation of Bitcoin leading to that price. Now, immediately we have our 200 moving average right here. And I think it might actually hold, but we're going to be consolidating inside of this CPR box. And as long as we stay below the yellow line, it's down, down, down from here. So there you have it. That's all you really need. And I don't know why so many people make it so complicated and they go in. I watched a couple of videos last night where there were some world trading champions using like some platform that's apparently that they've been running championships from 1984. And this is how you earn your rep, your credibility, by trading that championship thing and then winning your cup. So anyways, there's like so much stuff that's going on there, and they're like, yeah, this is how I won. And then you look at the guy and he's so detailed with all the technical terms and everything, and it kind of really captivates you when you listen to it. You're like, wow, that is just like. But then you look behind the scenes, and I was like, who is this guy, right? I was just curious, like all these people. And then you go to his website and he has a landing page. He has like a funnel that says, don't miss out, for limited time only, and they build like a bubble map system using a profile platform that gives you like volume profile, and it's like when volume comes in, you go with the volume, and basically that's a big buy order. This is where you buy. And then I open the charts, because I love to tinker with charts and like see what others are doing. And I open the charts and I compare his system, that he's apparently a world champion at scalping, but he's selling the system for like volume indication confirmation bubbles. He doesn't really teach it. He's like, you just gotta use it and stuff like that. So it's not like MarketSpy, where you actually have access to real people and a real conversation. These guys just operate from behind the scenes, and God knows what it is that they're doing with their platforms. But everybody has got something going on over there, and I'm happy he's willing to help people. But I compared that chart and I looked at what he was talking about, and I loaded up MarketSpy Profiler because it is just a better version of what he had. So I had a cleaner look at my chart with MarketSpy Profiler, and I started comparing his charts against mine. I went back and rewinded historically, and I could see that when they're talking about stop losses for scalpers on like 30-second, 10-second time frame, it is virtually impossible not to get stopped out with size and lose a significant amount of money, because these levels, it's not like they touch them and rebound. They chop through them multiple times before heading in one direction. So I think overall, our method, and everybody says this, but this is superior, and if there was something better, I would switch in a heartbeat. So if you have found something that is just to the tick, let me know. But so far, MarketSpy's worked magic for me. I can clearly see, like, all you need to do is like look at the yellow lines. This is the latest strategy that I have been shilling, advertising for people, because I got tired of them not knowing how to use Armageddon, which smokes all of this, by the way, if you know what you're doing. I'll show you like pyramids that are just printing money, but if you see 10 of them in a row, and if you don't think like the Sonnet model over here, and you're thinking, yeah, I can keep taking these pyramids to the upside, buddy, you only get 1 or 2 pyramids a day, and if you miss those, you snooze, you lose, you don't get a second chance. But then the same pyramids that you have been profiting from to the upside are now starting to pull price down with them. They become sandbags because of momentum exhaustion. And MSX kind of confirms that. So when you put all of this together and see what the charts are telling you, it's really easy to kind of benefit from just having this on your chart. And I have given you the alpha that is so simple, you can repackage it and sell it if you're a scammer. Go ahead and do that. Crypto allows you to be free. Do what you want to do. But you basically look at the daily open, confirm with momentum, and you pretty much have a basic understanding, a basic system. Now all you need is risk management, execution, and time zones. And this is where I started thinking about people who are in different time zones. And if you really want to do this full time, you have to treat it like a full-time job, where your wife starts bitching and complaining that you're not home all the time, that you're out there doing God knows what, but you're putting bread on the table. And to be consistent with this, you cannot sleep. If you happen to be located in some place of the world where New York doesn't care about you and it opens when it opens, you have to be there for it. When the CPR prints the block over here, you can't be away from it. So I want to know when is the best time to stream, because I want to do streams, but if people are trading and are locked in on the charts, what's the use in distracting them, right? So there's got to be like a preparation phase, and usually it happens around this time. Like this time, if you're not in for the stream, you're gonna miss out on a lot of alpha going into the day, because I'm telling you, directionality wise, you're looking at a potential pullback over here. So be ready either with your bid orders or take a trade to the downside. Now, Tactics is going to be released soon. We're finalizing a few little nuts and bolts that we have to tighten up, and then I invite everybody to beta test. And all you got to do is just be active in Discord, and you'll be granted access to Tactics, and we'll start finally trading live, because I refuse to trade from TradingView or using apps or using Bybit. It's just not efficient. It's slow as shit, and you're not gonna get far without a proper trading terminal. And the way that we have designed all of our order types and the way that you can execute your orders, we're gonna have a feature where you place a limit order. For example, it chases price, gets you in, but then immediately spits out a 50-minute ATR ladder, where as soon as you're in profit, it starts eating up and adding to your account. This is sick. No other platform has this, and will never have it, because the people who create those platforms are not traders, or if they're traders, they're not good at it, and they don't even know what they're doing, what it is that they're looking for. Our terminal is going to put an end to all that misery of manual trading and trying to be retail. So we're going to have a professional front end that is institutional grade. And so I look forward to doing that with you guys. And all the best out there. You know, I'm going to be coming back at these charts. I'm kind of like reluctant of posting setups. I don't really have a buy signal. If I bring you over to daily like this, right? This whole run up, we just posted, like, look at this. There was no indication of this going up whatsoever. We're just resting on this support zone, and we're hitting this resistance zone. And I had this drawn on my chart for a long time. This is nothing new. These two blue lines, I think this is a range bound situation that we're in. If we break above it, I'll start looking for a long signal. If not, I think we're going to be chopping around here for a little bit. And but it definitely trapped a lot of people to the downside over here, and so it's going to be really tough for them to hold that position if they choose to. Tactics will support multiple exchanges, but we will start the resumption with the exchange that was there before, which was Bybit, and also OKX and Apex. We will also implement Bitunix. Link in the description if you want to support for the affiliates. By the way, I have decided that whatever you sign up for through my links, I am tracking all of our affiliates, and we're going to be giving out 100% cashback from whatever the affiliate thing makes. So we have a Discord channel that's going to be like tracking the payouts and distributing it back to the community. So I like that. But also Tactics will support multiple exchanges, and then I'll keep adding more if there's more interest. Right now, most of my traders that are heavy hitters, they're on either Bybit or OKX, and some have migrated to Bitunix, especially from the States, because it doesn't block your account or geo-blocks you or restricts you on the KYC end, so you can trade freely with Bitunix. So I'm looking forward to that integration. And but yeah, on the daily, like, this is not a trade setup for me unless you're in lower time frames looking for something sustainable. This is a downtrend, don't get me wrong. I don't care if price goes up by 20%, you're still down. This is a downtrend right now. You would argue that, yeah, the 3-year uptrend is still an uptrend and this is nothing. Yeah, but it's still a downtrend. It's still overbought, and we're just like in a bad place in the markets, in my opinion. So it's not worth it. that this could be a reversal to new all-time highs. So if you're on the 6-hour chart, you had a clear divergence over here, and this is going to push price a bit more. I think there's a good potential here to maybe sweep. So you see the banana split. This is the exact point. I mean, this is so dumb. You know, apes, crypto apes. You know, this is what they do. Draw a line, and it's like money starts coming in, and what are you gonna do? Just go with it. All you have to do is just wait for it to actually happen, and then just take your chances from there. Now, obviously, this is something that can and will happen post sellout, post sell-off. Sorry, too many sellouts in life. My tongue's twisted with sellouts. But post sell-off, you're gonna have like a little uptick. Is it enough to attract more interest and keep pushing this price higher? I don't know. On the weekly, for example, we're on the red kit. There's no buy signal for me whatsoever. Like right here. Now it's important to note that we're still in the green cloud, but the way that this is developing right now is not putting any confidence in me that this is a sustained move to the upside. So it remains to be seen. So this has to climb up all the way up here, consolidate, chop back down in order for me to start like finding interest. It needs to give me a higher low, and it sometime has to pass. I would say, based on this symmetry from here to here, I need about a month to see if we're going to recover from this before I start trading in a direction. Right now, all of my trades are to the downside. So anytime I see a setup and I see some weakness, I will be most likely selling against it on derivatives. But here in this range, I did buy some spot Bitcoin, so I'm up a little bit, but that's, it's just nice. Change to put a smile on my face, but I'm selling it immediately after this little rise up. And yeah, spot trading on tactics is going to be amazing, because you can have all the same. You can have your DCA implemented and stuff like that, and you can buy and then sell the next day as price rises by 1%, for example. It's going to be sick. It's going to be sick. So, not much to talk about in terms of where to for Bitcoin here. Trajectory is down. It's just that momentum is oversold. Price went up a little bit. Lower time frames gave you plenty of profitable opportunities. The last punch out setup was on the 15-minute time frame, and that punch out led to all of this that you see on the chart. So it's a good idea to keep your eyes on the price when it comes to punch outs. I've been trading NQ, focusing on that. Same thing over here. Below, above, and you just take it from there. You actually need a small window somewhere around here, or somewhere around here, or even somewhere around here, to make a profitable trade for the day and step away from it. So right now I am playing with fire on NQ, because as someone who's been test driving prop firms and just getting into the education of trading on prop firms, I realized the rules are so extreme. What? Somebody subscribe. Thank you, guys. I don't know why this thing is so tiny. It was supposed to be full screen. It's too bad. It's too bad, man. No. Was that a subscription or a donation? You guys are freaking me out. Oh, that was a donation, Rich with JC. Oh, you were supposed to get the fireworks, man. Oh, I messed up with the setup. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you. I got 5 on it. Let's go. First donation in 10 years. Oh, man, I'm rusty. Appreciate it, guys. Hey, man. Rich with JC, this is how you do it. You know, I watch streams of like random stuff sometimes, and I always donate to people because I just think it's this circular economy that we're in is great. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. That was nice. That was nice. About to get some coffee. Forget this tea over here, man. Yeah, I'm gonna pour it down the drain. Boom. Who needs that? All right, guys. Stream is ending. I got some money. I'm about to go get some coffee, donut. The Mickey D's just around the corner right here, and I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, that's how it is. But seriously, you know everything there is to know about price directionality. I cannot afford to make a wrong move on my pro account that I'm working with right now, because every time I win, if it's a small win, it pushes my trailing stop. It becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. The window, the breathing room becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. So if I make a wrong trade, boom, that account is dead. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm well aware of that. And once I graduate and actually get my payout, I will start talking about these things. Not now. I don't want to bring anything up because I need to really get to the bottom of this and find out once and for all whether it is possible for an average person or not. And I'm not your statistical average trader by any means, but still, I find it extremely difficult. So if I find it difficult, some might find it impossible and be convinced that it is a scam. But I want to find out for myself. And so, yeah, we'll talk about it eventually, just not now. But anyways, NASDAQ. Shout out to Box for introducing me to prop firms, because these kind of prop firms, it was demo trading prop firms. I've worked with actual proprietary firms that traded their capital, but it was not trader focused like this, where you get a demo account and you have to prove yourself. This is something new to me, and apparently this scheme has been around for a number of years now, and luckily, Take Profit Trader, the one that I advertised. By the way, we just had a little thing yesterday where I'm gonna be sending the full payout of all that it makes as a so when people sign up, they basically pay me a little bit, like $10 or something, and so that accumulates, and whatever accumulates at the end of the month, I'm gonna be sending it back to our community. So that's pretty cool. If you want to be included in the list, sign up with Take Profit Trader. It's a great take profit. Sorry, it's a great firm to trade on. I found that the rules are within reason, but most importantly, I was able to withdraw money a couple of times, no issues, and so that's the most important thing. Contract. I've seen their contract. I'm their manager now, money manager, and so it's based in Florida, USA. So you got to have your tax forms and everything sorted out. So it's a legitimate business. That if you do have a business, you can, every time you buy an account, blow one up. It's only $100. You can write it off as a business expense, and basically, and yeah, things like that. So, anyways, guys, it is time to sign off. We've been here for over an hour. I talked about Bitcoin. Like I said, this whole run up, I don't really see any significant buying opportunity on higher time frames at all. There were many on lower time frames. There was the banana split. Some of our members came into the chat and talked about it on Discord. So if you're lurking, pay attention to these bananas. And people may make fun of these bananas, but trust me, they work. But don't trust me, look at the chart, right? And so when our traders start paying attention to it, if you're new, you should be also paying attention, because when there's talk in town about bananas, price tends to do things that you would call as bananas. So Yeah, that was pretty powerful. Breakout on the thin compression. Now you have the thickness, not interest. You want to repeat this and get another 4,000, 5,000 plus directional trade. Wait for price to compress. When you see these green zones that are like this, deflated, start looking for a trade. Right now, step away, go touch some grass, or yeah, or something. I don't know. I don't give advice. Right. Coffee's getting cold. I'll see you guys next time. Rich with JC, thank you once again. Wait, I know it's off topic, but did you see the super chat question? I see it now. And I just learned that there's a super chat question thing. And now your comment is actually highlighted because you took the crown over here. Oh, it's right there. Yo. Stream events and donation dashboard right there. Oh man, if you had to start back at zero with MarketSpy, what would be a strategy or a plan or your 100K blueprint? I would first wait for a reset, meaning I would wait for a complete market reset, because if I had to start from scratch, I would have to start with something like what we saw when we were at 16K, when I was like, this is it, this is the bottom, we got to buy. So I need the market to reset. We need to get that opportunity once again, and then kind of take it from there. But my strategy would be to, as a day trader, nothing would change. It would be exactly this. It's looking for intraday daily setups and, just kind of averaging out between losses and profits and just staying afloat. But I would definitely next time, and I think many people think this too. For example, during the COVID crash, I could not believe the V-shaped recovery, and I was very late into buying Bitcoin, and that did not feel pleasant at all. But like now that Bitcoin's been around for such a long time and it's proven itself time and time again, I would simply buy when there's a pullback anywhere beyond the 50% mark. So I think everybody would, and I know for sure next cycle, whenever that happens, and whoever buys Bitcoin on the low will probably make money. So it's a game of waiting. But starting with MarketSpy, I would say just learn the strategies. If you're part of the platoon, JC, or if you want to schedule a call and just look into these things, depending on what type of trader you are, I'd be more than happy. As a matter of fact, I do this quite often with our traders. People reach out to me and I say, okay, let's have a call and go over this. Like seriously, like we sit down and we do like live trading, and we look at the charts and say, okay, this is when you execute. Now, just because we schedule a call doesn't mean we're going to have a trading setup. That's another issue. So the two have to merge and land on one another. But we can definitely talk about strategies, and we only have 5 of them, and you can choose any one of them that fits your style and pretty much make money. But like right now, even looking at this chart, look, below yellow, short, above yellow, buy. Exit on ATR or longer, depending on like how much capital you have. So MarketSpy is super visual. It's like it's super visual. So it's the width, the breadth of the market that's being measured, and also the color coding here is just like the candles, green or red. And so now this could be my downfall, my mistake, but I tend to think that what is obvious to me should be obvious to everybody else, because I cannot explain that. Well, even in this segment right now, I'd like to point out, JC, that I think it's a matter of like entries and exits and managing stop losses, pretty much. Outside of that, we can clearly see that the moves either below or above these compression blocks are very easy to see. And I think stop loss management is a very interesting conversation to have. So yeah, I'll reach out to you. Let's schedule for the weekend. I think that'll be best. And I'll take some time off from my two little monsters and my two kids, and I'll sit down and go through this with you. But that's a very philosophical question. If you had to start back at zero with MarketSpy, it's more like if I had to start back at zero, scratch MarketSpy. What would be your strategy or plan? And immediately right there is I'd say, I need a system. I need to either design one or borrow one. I need to find something that clicks before I even look at these candlesticks, because people who say they trade naked price action freak me out. They must have a lot of money to risk, because looking at naked candles, like here's your naked candles. What are you going to do with this? If I bring MarketSpy over, boom, okay, I have a pyramid right now. I'm going to put a stop loss right here. Price is likely going to push up. We have a clamp. And so what it's going to do is something like this. Yeah, there's a possibility here. So at least I know what it is that I'm looking at. So if I had to start at the beginning of it all, I would be smart and not go for courses or um, products that promise automation or anything like that. I would just say, I need a framework, I need a system, and I need to see that it's modern and in line with how I think. And so this then would bring me to MarketSpy, and I'll probably say like, okay, now let's study and see how this works and take it from there. But the most magical thing out of all of them is skipping trades and just watching price. Even right now at the open, this is super uncertain for me. Here we had like this is not going to go up. I'll explain why. So here we have, for example, prices going down. This point was supposed to bring this up and resume price going higher and higher and higher. We have no strength left, unfortunately. So all you guys watching realize you have no strength left, because now you're just sagging. And so this is actually, despite the setup over here, I think this is actually going down to, where is it? Yeah, there you go. So you have immediate confluence right here. This is literally like a short in the making. And you have, and you gotta be fast. So you're looking at the ATR on this time frame, which is about $600. So you take a look at your, like, for example, right? Let's say, yeah, that's about right there on the ribbon, $600. So if you were to trade this and say short, you'd be looking to obviously gauge this price level right here as your stop loss. And then if this is your stop loss and this is your exit, that means this has to be your entry for a perfect 1 hour, or maybe you're not going to get 1 hour, but you're going to get 0.5 hour. But at least if you enter here and put your stop loss right here, price is going to make its way down here. And make sure it's not, but there's like, it's very, there's not a lot of reward here for the risk that you're taking. So I don't know. Below the open, bouncing. Why don't we do it right now? It's pulled back nicely already. So what we can do is I cannot find how to share the screen with the terminal. Boom. I think that's it. So yeah, we don't have any trades right now. But okay. Like 3 Bitcoin in this range, so all the way up to the top. Now I'm just gonna accumulate not a single order, but I'll just wait a little bit. 4 hours, right? And see what happens in 4 hours. There you go. So let it pick up a little. This is too aggressive. Let me make it a bit more flatter so that the average is somewhere around there. Yeah, so I think it'll fluctuate, but ultimately there's a potential for it to go down if it doesn't break through the ceiling in the next 4 hours or so. You know, I'll adjust this position, but typically you would do this just to fish around, just to see if you're on the right trajectory with Bitcoin, if you're aligned with its intent to go down. But on the chart, this is not something that is a good idea. This is still upward all the way to 113, and so shorting is not really recommended. But I do fish around sometimes like this, just to see if I can get away with it. And if not, the clearance of the previous highs usually means that I want to be out of the trade. But before that happens, my ladder kind of takes care of it. But once I see momentum acceleration to the downside, I will go heavy with leverage, limit in and limit out within like a $200 distance. And that literally with 3-4 Bitcoin brings me up to 1% of my account on a 100K loaded account. So for that, you have to wait. You can't just do it from here. It has to do this. It has to close below price. Right now, we just opened. So I'm literally gambling over here. So if it stays above this price for a sustained period of time, you go along aggressively. If it just rejects from here, goes back down, starts to trace down to around here, this is where I will short aggressively, and I know I'm going to capture that $200 swing momentum. And for a scalp setup, that's more than enough on a 5-15 minute time frame. So I figure it's like this, right? Instead of getting in on a trade and then sitting there for 4 hours biting your nails, wait and don't bite your nails. Bite on an apple for 4 hours, just sit there and find when it actually starts to move and you have these indications that, yeah, it is now trending above that yellow or below that yellow line that CR always talks about. And the high probability level is BC, PH, and PL. If we break down below this, obviously it's down, down, down. If we recover here and stay floating above this line, which is a high possibility here, it can start going up. But using the ladder to scale in, for example, like this, gives you flexibility that in case, you know, what this does is that it sets off the alarms. So either if you're on the road or if you're like nearby in your house, on the computer in the office, you can hear those alarms and the ladders as those rungs get eaten, like ba-dum, da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. You know, you understand what price is doing. You look at your phone, you can see all these alerts, and you can see prices interacting with these BC points or whatever, CP points, TC points, and then that prompts you to adjust your position and say, okay, I don't really want to be short here because what Bitcoin is doing is it's rising, and so now I need to switch back to my chart and see if we have momentum and we have some sustained play over here above the yellow line. And if that's the case, within that chop, all you need is $100, $200 distance to make it happen, but you have to time it precisely so that you don't have to flip-flop and worry about stops or anything like that. I don't really need stops. I just need some strong confirmation that there's participation in the market. And these volume bars at the bottom also help greatly. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is understanding the time of the day you're here. What Asia is doing is it's going to go up, it's going to go down. It's going to go up, it's going to go down, up until this half point. From this half point, a direction, sustained direction, New York time, will open, and it'll either start going up or it will have a sell-off from here. This is simple as that. So in that moment, you can skip all this, leave this to CR. Let me do the magic over here. Half, take over the perimeter control and do your thing, soldier. Take it from here, because when New York comes in, liquidity is coming in. Go with the money, blend in, and if they say, hey, we're pumping this above the yellow line, and you have momentum like curving out, you know, going like this at the yellow line, this is a good indication. So I'm so ignorant when it comes to these things. I have like a hot take on this, that I actually think the matrix is made up to induce fear and awareness into us. And I don't, I don't really think that I have experienced the matrix in my life. And that's not because I'm sleeping or I'm not awake. I'm actually detached from all of it so far away that I can see like everyone is talking about it, but I don't give it that possibility to exist in the first place, so I can never be a part of it, and it's worked magically for me. So if I just simply say that there's no matrix, but it's out there, for example, right? But if I don't acknowledge it, it's not there. That's the paradox. Yeah, so this is a tiny size. What are we going to do with that? Nothing. It doesn't really matter. So we're just sitting here, and like I said, throughout this range, it's maybe I'll record a video. I gotta go somewhere, but when I come back, I'm pretty sure I'll find a trade. I'm pretty sure. So when I do, I'll let the OBS run. I'll record a video. I'll dump it to our Discord so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But right now, this is looking like it's like shit's going down. No, seriously, I love people. I forgive people. It's, you know, I don't believe the world is evil. Now there are some evil mofos out there, right? And they'll do bad things. You know, overall, I think you know it comes from inside, because they pick up on these frequencies too, right? You come you step up to some people in some fields out there, and they're just like, you know, they're playing defense. You know, you have to understand. Okay, they're playing defense, and they're scanning the frequencies. And so if you're come matrixed out and you're like, you know, they're part of the cartel, well, they're gonna act like cartel, you know, and something like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just know that it's we manifest a lot subconsciously into the reality. So, but yeah, but it's also true that it does exist. But I'm saying in my world, you know, did it exist?
It's creeping in, subtle at first.
I heard somebody once say that, you know, I was like, don't you know about history?
Haunting.
And he told me, like this tea master, he told me that he was like, he was born in 1939, this old man, 1939, and he's like, I have no history beyond that. Like, that is the beginning of my world. That is the Noah's Ark, and everything happened from that point. Not 2,000, not 3,000, 5,000 years, a million years, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Like my life, all I know, my history is from the day that I was born, literally the light that took over me. That is all. I know things have happened, but I took no part in that. I didn't witness any of that. I don't know if any of it is real, but what I know is my life is real. And so I was like, that's interesting. And you know, the guy was old. He had time to think about these things. And I was like, you know, so it kind of changes your
Can you feel it? The tension,
your business
the
mindset.
anticipation. Should we add a little acid? Twisting your senses, warping your mind. This is it. This is the moment.
Ba-ding!
This is the pinnacle, the climax. Welcome to a journey
There we
through
go.
the depths of classic techno.
We're in now.
A series of rules.
A bit more, but we will wait. So anyways, right now, before he flips the script, we're short
Techno code.
towards BC, basically. That's the high probability level. But this short is basically going to be reversed most likely, because it's way too aggressive. There's no space between these candles, and when that happens, usually it's something like this. You have the next candle going up. So there has to be some space between good moves. There has to be some space.
What is the essence of this journey through the depths of classic techno?
So
It's much more
anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Just another daily check-in. Not daily, every other daily. I wanted to talk about those AI models. Go to the website, take a look at it, tell me what you think. It's hilarious, and there's lots you can learn from how it analyzes and does things. And that's, you know, that's important. Learning is the process. Learning is the journey. So we're all on it. Much love. Thank you once again for the dono. Rich with JC, and I'm off to get my coffee finally. See you guys later. Peace.